3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Joe Hendry Show, episode 30, I believe this is what we'll be on now. Episode 30. It is a new year, and we are rather excited to get back into it. How did you guys get on at Christmas and New Year and stuff?
Mine was alright, nice and quiet, other than a funny story. I had neighbours. Literally decided to
neighbors.
Everybody needs good neighbors. They so I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, it's pretty
Australian sitcoms.
damn right. Dude, that was a staple in my house growing up.
Really?
For some reason. Yeah, no idea why.
We never watched it.
But
That's when good neighbors become good friends. That's not going to happen with my neighbours anytime soon.
Nor mine.
For a variety of reasons. We've had Barney's. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll let you finish.
I was going to say,
just like me just coming with the bulldozer and just like. Or well, I'll do the sponsors first, and then we can give it.
We should do the sponsors, and then we can talk.
Talk
we
sponsors.
should do the sponsors.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So we
got the phone there. So first up, folks, it's Beer 52. How would you like a case of free craft beer? Well, as a listener to our show, we'd like to thank you for listening with the help of our friends at beer52.com. Just go to beer52.com/Hendry to claim a free case. Beer 52 is the world's most popular monthly craft beer discovery club. Searches out incredible and exclusive small batch craft beers from the world's greatest breweries and brings them back for the members. There's a whole world of craft beer out there, and this is your chance to get on board with discovering it. Now, folks, we say free. There's a very tiny catch, and this is all it is. You can get 8 delicious beers to your door, next day delivery, Black Cat deliveries. Don't bother with that first, Royal Mail pish. They courier it. And, if you listen to the podcast, you'll know that was a reference to before. If this is the only intro that Beer 52 listened to, you're going to have to listen to some other episodes to get the context on that one. Apologies in advance.
It's what you get for coming in halfway.
How dare you support the podcast?
You think our sponsors actually watch the podcast?
I hope so. Anyway, so every month focuses on a new country or theme, and if you sign up now, you will get a chance to try your very own for only £2.95. Also, you'll be able to read all about the beers and learn more about how they are made in our 100-page Ferment magazine. And as a listener of our show, you can try your first case for free. All you pay is the £2.95 postage. 8 incredible craft beers, Ferment magazine, and a snack delivered with next day shipping. It is a no-brainer. It is without brain requirement.
So you're telling me that those with no brain can do this?
Yes.
My God.
Yes. So
We're all inclusive.
There is a Russian scientist who actually beheaded a human being, and they were still able to order. They still knew without a brain that Beer 52 was a gore. He was like,
it's human instinct.
Yeah.
It's Beer 52 been around for millennia.
Yeah. He was like literally like you could just hear. He was like. That was the noise coming from his throat.
Yeah, the throat
it was like oh, and then he translated it through the machine. It went, that road soda's a belter. But anyway, there's no minimum commitment. You can just take the free case, try the beers, and see what you think. If it's not for you, you can pause or cancel at any time because Beer 52 has a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, so it's easy to see why the members love the service. beer52.com/Hendry.
Boom.
Thank you. All right, next up, we would like to give a shout out to our very good friend of the podcast, Jay Horner Illustration. Now, the reason we're giving this guy an ad is because he sent some awesome prints to the studio. Dave's got one here.
I actually have this one.
He's got his personal one. Hold up to the camera. That's just a white light. There we go.
Look at that.
There we go. Look at that.
If I was in a comic book, that's what I would look like.
Exactly. And so Jay does some amazing bespoke artwork, and you need to go check out his stuff. He is Jay Horner Illustration on Instagram, offers bespoke art services to authors, publishers, and individuals. If you want to get a unique gift for that special someone, his Comics for Couples service can immortalize your relationship in comic book form.
That's cool.
If that's too much for you, head over to Jay Horner Art Etsy shop, where he has artwork starting at £3.
That's, you know what?
Damn.
For that, honestly, for quality like that, I'd pay that. Hell yeah, I would. That's badass.
Well, I mean, I hope you'd pay significantly more than that.
Well, yeah.
I don't think you can get that for £3.
No, that looks pretty premium to me. Like the Comics for Couples thing is kind of cool. I need to get myself.
It's an awesome idea.
I need to get myself. a woman first. But, you know, when I do,
Or man.
That's 2018. 2019, bro.
Or a man.
2019.
2019.
Or man, don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man.
Just treat me like something. Just no a man or a woman.
I am a person.
Well, we've
real
already been down
human
that
being.
road on the podcast.
I know. Let's not go there again.
Identifying as
Let's not go there again. Let's
post
not.
boxes.
So
and TARDISes.
Christmas. How was Christmas?
Hey. Oh yeah. So Christmas, New Year.
So tell us about those neighbors.
My neighbors, the neighbors. They
Neighbors.
were neighbors.
Were there any bears in the
There
house?
were neighbors,
There were
mate.
neighbours.
Nah, the neighbors, mate. So I'm sitting in my house. And I'm like, it's pretty quiet. And, you know, I got Jackie Bird on the TV, pure talking about the New Year and everything, which is always quite fun.
Dad's obsessed with Jackie Bird. Every year
Is he?
he makes a comment. Yeah, he fancies her.
Who's Jackie Bird?
She's
Come
like
on, bro.
the redheaded woman that's on Scottish news and stuff.
Yeah.
She does
I don't watch
She
the
hosts
news.
New Year, and Dad's like, she looks younger every year.
Hey man.
Aye, but does she? So I mean, he could just be talking facts.
Hey man.
But I'm sitting
Don't
there.
judge a man.
She's doing her thing, and then all of a sudden, I just hear legit like explosions outside my fucking house, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" So I go up to the window and I look outside, and the neighbors from downstairs are just across the road. Like there's to describe it to you, it's kind of like it's a T junction at the bottom of my street, and there's just like the bit on the other end of the road where it's quite large bit of pavement, it's quite empty, you know. They've literally just put down a thing and they're just shooting up fireworks in the street, legit. No joke. For those that
you
follow,
live in a fairly nice area as well. It's not like
not really.
It's
It's
not
alright.
It's not exactly like
it's the
Bammy,
centre
is
of
it?
Edinburgh.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but it's also where people come by when they're drunk and pee on cars and stuff.
That's true.
That's true.
And sit on people's bonnets. You
but
know?
like
You've heard of
I
many people
saw
have
stuff
almost
like
fought it,
that. I saw stuff like that when I lived in Pilton.
Oh yeah.
So like
What's the most messed up thing you saw there?
I was gonna say, yeah, that's.
I don't know. Like probably the most messed up thing was when our sister and all of her friends got me and another kid to fight each other. That was pretty funny
That's kind of throwing
to think back.
throwing her under the
Well,
bus.
no, how?
Well, it's too late.
It was her.
She did that.
An
An
unnamed
unnamed
I
individual.
saw like a group of Neds like posting fireworks into people's
But wait.
houses.
So she
What?
made you...
Fight another guy in my year at
Oh,
school.
wow.
Although we just pushed each other about. We were like 6.
Did you dislike
Was
him?
it your first pro wrestling match?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
ended with both of us going home, drinking a big pint of Robinsons, and then going out and just playing again.
So let me get this straight.
It wasn't really
She
a
basically
fight.
just went, "Nah, I've decided that you two are going to fight," and you're like,
I can't remember what it was. but it was
"Well,
like, the Neds sort of like blew this beef that we had way out of proportion, and we're like, no,
And
you
it
should
was
fight.
it was sorted by Robinsons.
Yeah,
There's nothing worse at school, eh? Like when there's a minor issue, it's like fight, and you feel you have to. I remember one time in secondary school. I swear to God, secondary school. This is, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Right? This is one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. Right?
is it though? I
I'm
mean, you've had a
surprised.
lot of,
Yeah, I'm surprised you still haven't.
you've had a lot of bad
stories.
shit happen.
Dude, I can't believe I'm going to say this, man. This is probably why I became like an amateur pro wrestler, just to like justify this moment. But I remember I was at high school, and
So how old were you?
I can't remember exactly how old.
Was it early high school, late high school?
I was gonna say, for the sake of
Early, I want to say early high school.
for the sake of your
It was
dignity,
probably
we'll
mid-high
We'll say
school.
12. we'll say you were 12.
I think it was early high school.
So we'll say 12 or 13 for the sake of your dignity.
For the sake of
Let's do
saying it.
18, just to be
But
safe.
it was at least second year.
It was
because
right
there
before
someone
prom, mate.
In the year below me, right? So there was this guy.
Oh, so you must have been at least second year.
You remember how in school it was like it was like the mafia. Like
Yeah.
you had like chav families like the mafia. So it's
Yeah.
like if the one
I'll get my cousin on you.
yeah.
Mate,
So-
my dad's coming to me.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, you get in trouble with one of them, and then the one that's 10 years older shows up with 2 dogs, you know, and all that. So basically, this one, which was like the most notorious family in the school, or one of, and we had a bit of an issue, and then people are going, fight, and again, like that situation, one of the bigger boys was like basically making me fight, and I didn't want to fight. But, you know, I was pretty confident I could bat him, but for some reason, before it happened, I just went,
Oh no!
And I literally didn't open my eyes because I was just like, if I don't open my eyes,
It's not
happening. It's not real.
I'm
And I
not
remember-
greeting in front of everyone
Yeah,
because I have to
and you
fight.
know the worst thing happened? The head teacher came to collect me, took me to her office, kept me in her office the whole day until one of the teachers had to give me a lift home. And I had to show my ass up to school the next day.
Dude, that for high school, that's pretty bad.
It
and yet
is.
the worst
I know
thing
it is.
the worst thing is you're confident you could have battered the guy. You're like, mate, I could have battered you, but like, you know what I mean? I'm just emotional. I'm just emotional, mate. Was he bigger than you?
I was like,
Because you know you sometimes get that. High school's where it happens, right? It's high school where this happens,
crossover.
right? Because I had this happen.
It's just like a 12-year-old, sorry, like a 10-year-old girl you were fighting.
I've had this happen where I was in.
Actually,
Now that you say that, I had that happen in high school because I was a very people are doing this. What's this thing that people are doing now online? The puberty challenge thing where they're showing. I don't actually have any pictures of me. It's where they show what they looked like when they were like 12 or 13 versus what they became as an adult.
Oh, that's so.
It's a bit.
That's like so egotistical. That's
I mean,
like.
don't we know a couple of people that did the challenge?
how's
I
it
think
egotistical?
Because it's like, oh, look,
people
I used to
post.
be
Hold on.
ugly, now I'm fucking smashing it, dude. Look at me. Like, no one gives a fuck what you used to look like.
Well,
Dude,
like-
you're pretty amped up about this.
Yeah, because it annoys me. It's the same thing as
is
like
it
the
because
don't
you look,
judge me challenge.
Is it because you
and shit.
look the same, Jake?
What's the don't judge?
So the don't judge me challenge was where attractive people would go on Vine, Instagram, and whatnot, and they would make themselves look ugly by wearing glasses and putting fake spots on their face and messing up their hair. Put their hand over the camera, lift it off, and they look amazing.
It's not
And
quite
apparently,
the same thing.
it's still people like,
That's someone
look
being a
at what
tosser.
I can look like.
That's a
sort of
tosser,
thing.
like born and bred. But what happened was, I was a pretty late bloomer in high school. I didn't grow really.
Yeah, me too. Man.
Yeah, like
Me
I was.
too.
I swear to God, I was like 4'11" until about 17, and then I just suddenly became 5'11",
I wouldn't
6 feet
even.
overnight.
I wouldn't even have described my genitals as. I wouldn't even describe my genitals as
Please
a
don't.
penis.
Please do not describe your prepubescent genitals.
That
is how we get banned. Okay, that is how we get
No,
banned.
I'm just saying. It's me, all right. Dude,
Mate, it's my fucking show. I'll talk about my balls if I want.
My genitals.
Mate, if I want to talk about my boob, I will. All right, God,
Yeah, it was a part of my life.
for fuck's sake.
Mate, I honestly had a winky until I was until at least mid high school.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, late bloomer.
I was okay there. I'm talking more just like height and actually looking like an adult. You know?
He's like, no, man, I was hung like a horse.
Mate, I had
Since I was.
but that,
But literally, like with me, literally, I think I went through rather than like one puberty, I went through like 3 puberties. So like literally, when I got to I think when I got to like 16, 17, I just went. Like compared to, and for the audio listeners, that was shoulders going out.
becoming more.
Yeah, I became.
I don't
like,
think you need to explain that. That's a very obvious
I
noise
became
for
like
puberty.
a man.
Everyone
I just
don't-
went from boy to man. I evolved. Basically, I didn't go through puberty. I evolved. And
So
my,
you're
and my
saying
parents.
you didn't have like 2 evolution states. You had like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I had 3 exactly. But I didn't have. There wasn't puberty like this gradual process. It was
Yeah.
literally like one day I came home and then like this purple light just started emanating from my feet,
Dun,
and I
dun,
evolved.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
You're
But,
you're
I
literally,
found- but my parents held down B for 3 years just for life. You know?
you literally come home. You're just like, "Hi, mum and dad. I've just been at school today."
That's exactly what it was like. And then again, when I was 24, I just went from no beard to beard in like a day.
See, I'm still
Just
waiting
one-
on that.
That's
One-
bullshit. That's
No,
bullshit.
no.
You told me before you were 18 you had a beard or something.
No, it didn't. No way could I grow a beard before I was 18. It was when I
You
was
told me a
24.
story how you got sold alcohol when you shouldn't have, and it was because you had a beard.
you
it didn't.
said that you did something illegal.
No, but you're mixing up stories. You're talking pish. I bought GTA when I was 17. That's the only thing I bought underage. I'm such a wimp. I didn't even buy alcohol underage.
Right, okay.
I couldn't. No, I got GTA, and it was because I told him I was 27 and had a child.
Right, okay.
Poor guy. I bullied this guy, John Lewis, because I knew that's I could go there. If I got a game, I'm not going to get served.
Mate, I'm telling you what right now. If you didn't, I'll come out there and batter you. I'll cry about it first, but I'll batter you.
Imagine I did that before my matches. Instead of my custom entrances, I just go, "Moo."
That's literally that.
And then the head of the promotion has to come and take you into the back.
Take you back to the office.
No, it takes me to the merch stand.
You have to sit in the corner.
Oh, it's giving me PTSD. Sorry, Dave. I've bulldozed your story 8 times. Carry on.
Yeah, but so I didn't grow that tall or anything until like literally about 5th year. I'm convinced I'm the same as you. I went through like a second puberty at like 20, you know. But like that was the thing. And then when you move up high school, you get to like 2nd and 3rd year, you start to see like the newer years coming in, and the ones that catch early puberty are just like 6'2" in like S2, and you're just like, fuck, you know. That happened. Was this guy bigger than you, or was he kind of? Was he like?
I'd love to use that as an excuse. I just can't.
Nah.
I just can't. He was in the BAM Mafia.
BAM Mafia.
So I knew no matter what happened, it was
The Babby
not going to
Mafia.
end well.
He actually did have
You do have to be careful of that, though.
He was 3 foot tall.
I actually got my ass whooped by the BAM Mafia once, and it was because they were being a dick to a friend of mine. So
BM.
I stood up.
BM.
I stood up to them, and I got my ass whooped by about 5 of them.
It took 5 of them.
Well, this is the thing. I was lucky that when they started fighting me, I got pushed up against a wall, so I wasn't on my ass. I didn't fall down. I was still standing the whole time, and then they just left. I remember being shocked at just like, and this isn't me being like, oh mate, I was hard. I remember just being shocked by how like minimally they hit. Like I walked away without any marks on me. I remember being hit, and I remember them like hitting my head and like hitting my stomach. But I remember being like, I felt like I just had like a wee bit of a rough sparring match. You know that feeling you
that's
get?
because they're BAMs and they can't actually fight.
Well, that's I remember like, you know that feeling you get after like a sparring match where you're like, well, that was a bit rough, you know what I mean? But like that's what it felt like. But it was literally 5 of them, and I remember just being shocked and being like, that's nothing. I was like, I'm pretty sure 1-on-1 I could whip these guys.
And that is when Dave decided to get into competitive fighting.
No, I didn't do that until Christ 10 years later.
All right,
For some reason, I thought I was always of the mentality like, nah, mate, I could fight, eh? Like, even when I was a bouncer, I became a bouncer before I learned how to fight. So even as that, I was like, you know, I used to almost look at martial arts guys and be like, aye, all right, you know. I was always like, mate,
I held the doors on Weatherspoons.
mate, I didn't even care. Like, I just grabbed them and like put them on the ground and sit on them. Like, that's what I'll do.
I'll tell you what is pish. Krav Maga. Krav Maga is rubbish. I see Facebook ads for it and people go, I tell you, see people that don't know. They go, I tell you what martial art I do like. The one is real. It's made by the Israeli military forces. Krav Maga.
The Krav Maga.
The Krav Maga, honestly, I tell you, pull up people's eyes in that, eh? And it's just like, shut up. Shut up now. If you do Krav Maga, we could pick the weakest guy from our wrestling club and he would walk all over you. Or her.
I think, I don't think it's useless, but I think against trained fighters, it's not that much useful. Like, against you, it wouldn't be useful. Against me, it wouldn't be useful. But
They'd
against,
probably
like,
kick my ass.
Barry the Bam, like, it would probably be very useful. You know what I mean?
I honestly, I think it's garbage because all it teaches is how to, basically, it's not self-defense, it's literally just like how to, the thing is, I remember the techniques that they were showing me, I was just like, what is this? To give you an idea, like when I was like a jobber at the Edinburgh Judo Club, I literally battered the guy who's the head of Krav Maga for Scotland. I'm not joking. Like, because literally I went to one of the classes because I was curious, and this guy's like total like alpha male, like trying to show off, he's like, oh, did judo, do you? All right, well, let's go then. And I watched this, folks, and I remember like
You're like, give me 5 minutes, I'm going to go and have a cry in the corner, and I'm going to come and kick your ass in front of your students, mate.
All I did is I went on the mat and went,
And he felt so bad for you, he just rolled over.
He said, Joe, if you ever tell this story in the future, you can tell them you battered me.
and he went, oh, look at that winky.
Okay, now put your winky away so we can fight.
That's how you battered him. He just gave in. He just
So I'll
forfeited.
tell you what, imagine being like that. Being all,
Is that what you want me to
The
say?
thing is, I think it's a legitimate strategy. If,
That's my strategy,
If someone's going
yeah.
up to you, you just get naked and just start
16
screaming.
16
They're not going to try and
Yeah,
mess
yeah.
with someone.
Yes.
Are you going to fight a dude who's butt ass naked,
Yeah.
just screaming the most random
there
shit?
you go. There you go. 16-year-old Joe is just like, I can't know what of it. What of it? Or,
I've got nothing to lose, mate.
What of it?
I've got nothing to lose.
Look at the state of me. So I went up to school. Mate, Imagine you were totally aggressive and confident about it, though. Like, I'll tell you what, mate. You want to rock up here with your Krav Maga pish? I'll tell you right now. I'll see you outside. I'll come outside, roll on my back and greet. And then we'll see who the man is. And it'll be you, because you'll easily beat me. So there you go.
You sound exactly... It's the same voice as the Limmy kid. The cartoon. He's like, so I gave him a pair of my slippers. Oh, no. Oh, no. He gave him a ball crusher.
Oh, no.
But Dave, you saying that you got attacked by the BAM army actually reminds me of something that happened to me in school. So there was like these tennis courts in my school, and they were like closed off by big gates. And I don't know why, I cannot remember the context to it, but about half of my entire year were in these tennis courts. And like, we were in second year, maybe first year. And essentially the entirety of the like last year of school, the year 11, so I was in like either 7 or 8. And they were in year 11.
Oh, you got the weird English system, yeah.
So
year
they
11
all
would
just
be
decided to
S4?
attack us.
Is year 11 S4?
It'd be S...
S3, S4, right? Yeah, it'd be S4.
It's the 5th year of high school.
So
it's
5th year.
S5.
What the fuck is that weird
Yeah,
system?
year 7, 8, 9, 10,
Whoa.
Is year 7 the equivalent to primary 7?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Right,
no. Year
Back it
7
up.
is S1.
What the fuck?
They don't have P1 in England. They have foundation, which
Okay,
is like
so-
nursery.
So they're like, how do we take a
so-
system that works and
yeah.
make it complicated?
So what's
To be
third year?
fair, third year, that's year 9.
Okay, so it's just literally goes up in increments.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
So it
that's
carries on from
Okay,
primary.
I can understand that.
Year 6 is P7, and then year 7 is S1.
Imagine if you carried that onto like uni and like I'm in U1, mate. And then you get to work.
I'm in year 60 now. Like, I'm in year
You got to work. I'm in W4, like W4.
But anyway, right, so we're in these tennis courts, and all the older kids, so the oldest kids of the school, just decide to attack us one day. And I remember just
why
being
no, mate?
stood, and the gates were closed, and they were like, I think there was like a massive group of people from my year trying to hold the gates. They were holding the gates from the army of older kids, and they just start climbing the gates.
Oh,
they
God.
start climbing over the walls.
Mate,
it's
it's
like
like cage
World War
match,
Z,
mate.
man. Like they're just these zombies, like jumping over. And I'm just like sat in the middle, like all stood. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? There's about 100 kids trying to jump into these tennis courts. I don't know what they're gonna do. No one fought in my school because it was a little village, but they were trying to get in anyway. And this kid who came from a gypsy family within the area, quite a notorious one.
That's racist.
Traveling family.
Yeah, you
But, well, they don't
It's fucked
travel
it, mate.
anymore,
That's it.
so.
We're fucked, mate. That's it. Totally fucked it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know there's a... Is that an offensive word?
Yes.
Mate, it's
a slur.
It's one of the worst.
They say it
Is
in
it
Peaky
actually?
Blinders.
Oh, well, that makes it alright then, eh?
But they
joke,
say it
yeah.
themselves.
They made it alright. That's fine then, eh?
They also kill people in
Okay.
cheeky blinders.
Mate, if I fucking tell you to kill somebody, would you do that too, eh?
So, traveling family. One of the
There we
kids.
go.
in the
Apologies,
traveller
folks.
family,
Apologies.
Who were very notorious for essentially being a BAM family.
Are they
and
part of
there's
the BAM
about
mafia?
7,000 of them within this one small family, and if you mess with one, you're messing with everyone.
So the entire family's just a mafia in and of itself.
Pretty much.
Mate, I heard the BAM mafia were like, nah, mate, we respect this one family.
the traveller family, that's what they say.
I see.
The traveller family. That's what the BAM say. But actually, our sister did batter one of them once. One of the guys. She battered one of the guys because they started on her.
Fair enough.
So, but anyway, so one of the traveller families is climbing up on the gate. He's at the very top, and this gate is quite high because it's to close in the entire tennis courts. And he's at the top, and he looks down at me and just goes,
Oh,
spits on me,
no.
right in my face. I was just like,
I mean, that's a fucking good aim. Like,
yeah, I know,
you've
I
got
was
to give
quite
him
impressed.
respect.
Yeah, you're just impressed.
And I was just like, but why? Why would you do that to me? Like, I'm just standing here
know
in the tennis courts. You've just climbed up a fence to just spit on us.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of. Have you ever seen the red carpet thing when Tom Cruise is standing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got the one
the
that's like,
microphone.
why would you do that? You're a jerk.
Yeah.
You're a jerk.
I mean, he was right.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
yeah.
he's 100% right. It'd be funny if literally they get up there and they climb over and they just get in and they're like, oh, I could marry you, mate. I'm not going to, but I could.
That's what happened.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, because no one had fights in my school because it was a tiny little town.
See,
Everyone was a pussy. I saw one fight in my entire time. 2 fights in my entire time.
I don't know if I spoke about this on the podcast, but I'm of the belief that in school, especially, maybe not so much now, because I do know. Like if I've trained, I train like wrestling, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, and kickboxing, and I see in the club there is like some 14 and 15-year-olds that come in. So now you know that there is like kids in high school that are like becoming badass. I think back to that and I'm like, man, imagine if I knew some fucking kickboxing and wrestling back in high school, mate. I'd have been the king of high school, because I'm of the belief that in high school, like I said, not so much now, but back when we were kind of in high school, it's just whoever's willing to throw a punch. I honestly think
whoever's perceived to be willing to throw a punch.
Whoever's just willing to do it.
Whoever people think is willing to do it.
Well, I think you're right.
How many times do you see the bully have to prove himself?
It's a good point. Once, and then after that, nobody ever messes with them again. Mm-hmm. I think the Art of War, it's kind of the same ilk.
I'll tell you what, the Art of War is, it's well worth, don't read the whole thing, but read the bullet points. It really does work. I thought, I read it with my approach to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And a lot of the bullet points resonate with me, certainly.
Yeah.
It basically says that, it's better to strike quickly and to make a kind of massive impact rather than to do something over a prolonged periods of time in little jabs. So it's basically, if you're going to do something, like, for example, for me, it was pro wrestling. It was like, don't, like, if you're going to do it, go all in. All in for a period of time and just that is your life for a while. And it'll pay long-term dividends. And I do believe that. So you can treat the Art of War like, approach business in the same way and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, see, when you were... you're saying that reminded me of one of the crazy Iceland stories, man. Like, when we were over in Iceland, like, we were on the back of this... so on this island, they have this festival called Theothoteeth. That's how you pronounce it. But basically, instead of buses driving people around the island, it's literally... like, they have these little lorries in the back, and there's a DJ in the back of the lorry, and they're just like, everybody's like drinking.
It's like a party bus,
Everybody's
but just in a
steaming.
sketchy lorry.
It literally sounds like something out of the band Mafia.
And so we were with the band and some other people that we knew from Iceland there, right? And these two guys started arguing, right? And then this one huge guy literally got his can of Coke and just went like over like the entire lorry to throw it at one guy, but it went everywhere over everyone. So basically. And we were just kind of bystanders. We genuinely did not get involved in this, right? But literally, because this guy had done this, I'm not joking, 20 dudes just started wailing on this guy, right? Goosh, goosh, goosh. And the guy's still going like, ah, and they eventually kicked him off of the back of the lorry.
As it's moving.
Yeah. It's going about...
Sparta!
Attempted murder!
No, it was going about like 5-10 miles an hour.
That's still ridiculous.
Kicked out of the back of a lorry.
But then he's chasing after, right? Because it's only going about 5 miles an hour, right? And he's trying to catch up because he's raging. His t-shirt's ripped. He's like black and blue.
What
and then he comes
the fuck?
up, and then he's basically running towards the lorry. And people, because he's a certain distance away, people just start spitting on him, going. And I'm thinking, like, what a day for that guy. Eh? Like. There you go,
He's
people.
just trying to catch up so he doesn't get stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, don't
Butterfly effect, people.
Yeah, don't
be
spill your
careful
juice.
with your cans of Coke.
Well, I remember on one of those lorries, I got involved in an argument because this wasn't actually a fight really, but I had I think one epic fight in Iceland. I don't think we've talked about it yet. I don't know if we will.
I don't think you can
I
talk
don't
about that
know
one.
if we will.
I don't know
I
if
don't know if we can.
You can.
Yeah, but one of them. So I'm on the lorry, right? And so we paid our money, and then the woman comes on and goes, right, it's like this is like we've left where we started. She goes, lorry's too heavy. You get off. And I was like, well, all my friends are here. If I get off the lorry, I'm gonna be,
stranded,
left with a serious distance to walk in the cold. I've paid my money. You know what I mean? I'm not getting off. If there you go. And she was like, get off. And I was like, listen, I'm not getting off the lorry. I've paid my money, right? And what I didn't know is this is like a little village that hosts this insane festival. And so it's her and her husband. They're running one of these like lorries, right? And the husband just jumps on my back, right?
The fuck?
Jumps on my back, right? And I'm like, ugh. And so I basically like walk him off the lorry, right? And I'd kind of weak him off my back like that, and we get into a big argument. And I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, sorry, I missed out one key bit before this. I missed out one key bit before this.
You had to have a wee 5-minute cry before it.
Yeah, I did. so basically,
My tears are freezing, man. Fuck this.
so basically, we're on the lorry, and see when I said to her, "I'm no getting off the lorry," and then she just literally grabbed my shirt like there and just went.
Fucking
Ripped
Jesus.
like, my shirt right down the middle, and that's where we got into an argument. I says, right, I was like, go and get me however many krona it was. Let's just say it was 2,000 krona. I can't remember. I was like, go and get me 2,000 krona right now. I was like, you've just put your hands on me and ripped my shirt, and I was like, I'm going to call the cops or get me the money to pay for that shirt. I was like raging because obviously I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to hit her. I'm not going to do anything. But she's wrecked my shirt. So then we start arguing. I'm like, I'm not getting off this lorry until you get. Oh, I've totally messed up the story.
Oh my God, Joe.
I'm so sorry. No, we got in an argument because of what had happened with that guy in the fight. She was saying get off the lorry because, blah, 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 blah. I'm getting confused. But basically, she was saying like, well, you get off the lorry then. And I was like, I'm not getting off the lorry. I've paid my money. And that's how it, I really didn't need to go back there, did I? But anyway, so she rips my shirt. The guy gives me, jumps on my back. We're down there. I'm like, I've done nothing. I'm going to get the police involved. I'm like, you need to make this up to me. And he's like, right. And he's like, no, you're right. I'm sorry. He's like, right, we'll sort this out. I don't have any money on me, but just wait there. We'll sort this out, right? I swear to God. Goes to the front, gets in, door opens again, comes out with a bag, right? And I'm thinking, what is this? There's a multitude of things
That could be
that you could expect here. Mm-hmm. Do you know what he gave me? As a peace offering. Dried fish. Dried fish. And it was like that size. It was just like dried. And I was like, I'm like standing there with a red shirt. And I'm like, and then I tried a bit. And it was like, you know the clip of that woman that goes, disgusting?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's what it made
You
me up.
tried a bit.
I tried it. It was absolutely disgusting.
Because you're like, right, mate, this better be the best fucking piece
Exactly.
of fish I've ever had my best in life.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, what if it was
disgusting.
the best fish?
Disgusting. Oh my God.
Which one of you did a shite?
Oh,
You flushed the toilet.
Well, it was one of
It was
yous.
fucking one of you.
Disgusting.
A classic.
You know what's funny? That video made it online. Like,
I know. I want to know who uploaded
The younger sister who did it. I know someone
really?
who knows her.
Really?
what?
Wow.
Oh, you kept that one
Proper
quiet.
celebrity, man.
Proper celebrity.
Let's get them on the podcast.
Podcast interview.
Imagine the mum being like a legit celebrity because she's like basically bullying her kids.
That's not bullying your
That's
kids.
terrible. That is terrible.
That's not.
I think that's bad. I think that's bad because literally.
Well,
she
one of
comes-
them did go for a shit and not flush it.
Yeah.
So.
No, but the way that she speaks to the kids, you don't think that's a little overly aggressive?
You know, it could be an
Pretty normal for,
ongoing
like,
problem.
a Scottish family.
It could be an ongoing problem.
I think that looks to me that was over the top to speak to one of your kids like that for not flushing the toilet.
For
To
doing
come
a
in and be like,
shit and not this. That's because you don't flush the toilet after shitting.
well, it was one of yous. Oh, he's doing his hilltop zone again.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Here, stay away from Joe. He's about to lose it, man. Mate, he's crying, man. He's about to lose it. He's about to go fucking mental. Make sure there's no Krav Maga instructors nearby, man.
Imagine there was like, Goldberg's entrance, like the do 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 do. Imagine that was like me, but just like crying the whole way to the ring. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Laughs.
Oh, I wouldn't call that bullying. Fuck me, if that's bullying, then I was emotionally abused all through my childhood, if that's bullying.
No, but do you not think it's over the top though?
Not really.
Nah, am I just a softie?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, I've seen you with the dog, like, God help your kids.
What? Yeah,
Too
mate.
soft.
Yeah, too soft. Yeah, this is the guy that fed his dogs grapes as a treat, alright?
No, I didn't. Dad fed him raisins, and I said, "Are you sure they're allowed raisins?" And he was like, "Oh, I should probably check."
Mate, I wasn't going to bring it up. But he went
You
there.
forced my hand, mate. You made me do
Wasn't
it.
me who did it.
All right, you
Wasn't
made
me who
me.
did it. I'm
If you're
a
gonna go down that
responsible dog
road.
owner. Dad, on the other hand, gave him a bone that broke his tooth.
Oh God.
Yeah, he just
some raisins.
Dad, if Dad saw it on Tom and Jerry, it's okay.
Tom and Jerry. Fucking hell.
I suppose that's a bad example because it is a. I know Spike's there, but
Yeah, that's
have I
Spike
told
kicks ass.
have I told the story, my Spike story on the podcast
Yeah.
before?
Is
I
this
have.
the one
Yeah.
with the phone?
The phone.
Yeah.
That's honest to God one of my favorite stories of all time. I have
Do you
to be
know?
honest.
I remember like the guilt that I felt. Though. For those who don't know, I literally, when I was a kid, phoned in for a hotline competition without the bill payer's permission because I was so young. I didn't actually dial the number. I just thought when you were a kid, you could literally just pick up the phone, say the answer. I was just picked up the phone, went Spike, put it back down, and expected a Sega Mega Drive to arrive at my house.
I remember that blew my mind the first time because we had we had like a phone in the living room and we had a phone in the kitchen. And it blew my mind when you would like pick up the phone in the living room, and if someone picked up the phone in the kitchen, you could like chat to one another. When I was like 5 years old, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Walkie talkies.
yeah!" And my dad's like,
Technology.
"That's going to cost a fortune," and I was like, so I stopped doing it.
And that's our new series. Is it either Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2 or Kurt Angle's TNA entrance?
Or Joe crying.
Or me crying. Yeah, the
Or
third
Joe
one.
crying.
It could be any.
That's a Joe crying one.
That's a Joe crying one there. It's followed by
Is
a
it
lot of violence.
A? Joe crying. Is it B? Hilltop Zone. Or is it C? Kurt Angle's TNA entrance.
Make sure you get the Bills payers permission before.
Call up now.
Don't just pick up your phone and expect it to arrive. Oh, I'll tell you what though, when we're talking about those kids in that video doing what was it they were going to do? Sing on the video or whatever?
They were singing
Cher Lloyd or whatever, yeah.
by Cher Lloyd.
So it's funny. I was round at my parents' house
Disgusting.
the other week there, and my sister was round as well, and she watches like trash on YouTube, right? And she's watching. And when I
Don't we
say-
all?
Oh, aye, but she watches like proper shit. And one of
Yeah,
the things she was
yeah.
watching was these programs on the children that do the beauty contests, like beauty queen
Oh,
contests.
screw that. That is so messed up.
Oh,
bad.
That is so
Dude,
messed up.
and it-
if you send your kid to do that, you are a piece of garbage.
So this is the thing. The fucking it's just to me it was just a complete another weird world of like. There's some of them that like are like enjoy it, obviously, because again, like the kids are they want to be a princess and have fun. and
Have
enjoy
you
it.
seen the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode on it?
No, but
Damn.
actually, I don't know. Maybe it might come back to me. And I'm watching it, and there's other ones where like the parents are just. It's so weird. Most of the time, it was the parents were like models or like they did like beauty shows and shit in their youth, and now they're like, right, the kid's gonna do. I know, eh?
Because that's the voice they've got to be in. Right, my kid's name.
You'd be amazed at some of the voices. Some of them are just like there was
Yeah,
one
man.
I saw
Meth
that.
does a lot to you.
Yeah.
Dude, there was one that was like really bad. Like she, honest to God, looked like. You ever seen like? Do you ever remember the Simpsons episode where Lisa had to get braces and they showed her the big brook of British smiles, and there was one with just like teeth like coming through her like nose and shit. There was one woman that legit looked like that, and she's like pressuring her daughter to go and do this fucking shit. And they're like in a restaurant, just like
You're wondering, is there a complex there from the parent? Well, obviously, you know.
yeah, yeah. But it's just it blew my mind. I was just like, this is fucked up. That people actually do this. Like, and I found that. It was a weird thing because they would go and get like judged by people, and I'm like,
Yeah, who goes, I want to become a judge of a child's beauty pageant?
it was just
Well, there is a certain type of people who want that career choice.
Yeah, if you go down that career choice road, we're probably just going to have to go ahead and search that hard.
We're
What the
gonna
hell-
just
yeah.
draw some assumptions
I was
on
like,
that.
what the fuck constitutes like what do you look for in like? Because obviously, like I can look at a grown woman and go, oh well, she's beautiful. But you look at a child,
Well, I
and
think
you're
it's
like, what the fuck
more-
are you- that's
Like,
Yeah, it's sick.
I think they're looking more into like
Nah, I know.
the
it's just-
makeup
it's,
or
but it's such
the
a
dress
but
or their talent.
it's
or
such
whatever.
a-
well, hold on. That's another thing I was gonna say. That fucked me off. So obviously she's watching it, and I'm like, right, I'm watching.
Dave's like, this isn't meant to be about talent.
No, that's what I was about to say. So they're like,
Oh my god.
they're judging
Where are you going with
bullshit
this?
once I'm
Stop,
like-
dude, stop.
It
No.
was actually coming out. We've broken.
You
the table.
fucked. I'm fine. Oh god, it is actually. Holy shit.
Yeah, like the table.
Oh jeez.
no
Holy
longer
fuck, dude.
connected.
Okay, right. We'll just
We're gonna lean in.
there we go. There we go.
We're gonna lean
Well,
in.
that's because I'm holding
Oh
it.
yeah, you're holding it.
That's
Let's
purely because I'm holding it.
Let go.
Basically, we need to move this.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
But
we're
now
all.
my mic is going to fall off.
Well, you need to attach it tighter then, don't you?
There we go. Sorry.
Apologies.
For the audio listeners and the video listeners.
For anyone, really.
Anyone that's watching.
Because this is obviously not going to get edited out.
But maybe... No, it's not. Hell no. I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
But there was one, and it actually made me really...
Anyway, carry on.
It actually made me really sad. It was a girl, she goes like...
Why does right tighten it, loosen it?
Just don't even touch
It's
that.
righty tighty, lefty loosey.
It's supposed to
Why is it the opposite way around?
Why don't we ask Lucy ourselves? Lucy, go come in here. Let us know what's going on.
There we go.
All right.
Right, carry on.
All right. But there was
There
one,
we go.
and it made me actually quite sad. And it was a girl that went for one of these competitions, and she came like fourth or whatever in it, right? And she's sitting there going like, well, she had originally done it like, she's like, oh, it'll be good for confidence and whatever. And she got like fourth, and she's like, oh, I guess I'm just, if I didn't win it, then I'm not good enough yet and stuff like that. I was like, you're like 8 years old. I was like, why are you the thoughts in your head at 8 years old that you're not good enough? I was like, oh
Well,
my.
what about kids who play football?
That's different. That's different. I'll tell you what that's different because like these pageants and like dumb crap like that.
They're based purely on what you look like and things like that.
It's stupid. It's just like it means.
I agree. See, I'm against them, but I'm playing devil's advocate.
I was like, that's
I'm completely
brutal.
Like, put it this way, I would say to anyone that wants to do that, put their kid in that. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I was like, that is
Stop being an idiot.
brutal.
Well, see in the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode around child beauty pageants, the gang have to run a child beauty pageant. Basically, they're
Right.
roped into it, and the parents just leave all the kids in the bar with these random strangers. It's great. And there's a male kid, a boy, right, who's also doing it, and the guys are talking to each other, and they're like, "Oh man, it's so messed up, Mum probably wanted a daughter, she's just making her son do all this pageant stuff. I feel really bad for that kid." And like, yeah. And the kid comes up and is like, "Can I show you my song?" And they're like, okay. And then the kid just starts doing this like old American like song, and he's doing this whole dance and stuff. They're like,
Are you sure this isn't...
Never mind. That kid loves pageantry. Let's make him win.
Are you sure this isn't just the Walmart yodeling kid?
But again,
It
it's
actually
like,
looks quite similar. I'm not kidding.
things that are about talent is different. No, when it comes to sports and kids, my issue with going like, now schools are saying like there's no winners and losers and stuff.
I hate that.
That's dumb as hell.
I hate
because
that.
basically real life, unfortunately,
It's not like that.
yeah, unfortunately, real life is cruel.
Even the smallest things in real life you have to fight for sometimes. You got to be willing to fucking put in for it. You don't just get things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That job that you want, that promotion, like, no, you're in competition with people, and it's almost like today's society is deemed competition bad. It's like, fuck no.
When life is competition.
Mate, you were
We're all trying to
literally
outlive others. That's it.
mate.
And the thing is, it's like, see, like they say, oh, it's not about the win, it's about the taking part. I have a Commonwealth participation medal that I'm pretty sure is on the floor somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, we got this nice plaque from the Commonwealth Games, and I'm pretty sure it's on the floor. Whereas the regional medals that I've won mean more to me than, competing in the Commonwealth Games.
If I got a participation badge or whatever, as a kid, I wouldn't have cared. Like at sports day, and you see those kids with a first place, like 3 first place stickers.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, man, why
Bro,
can't I be that good at running?
All I'm saying is, if you were the fastest runner in school, you were taking the coolest girl to the disco.
Well, actually, you were the best long distance runner for a while,
yes.
weren't you?
I was the best cross country runner in my school.
Probably
I
because you
actually
were
feel
6'4" in primary
bad
school.
Because I remember I said something really insensitive around that time about running being boring. And you totally took it to heart, and I realized, I totally realized as soon as I said it, I was like, I may have just crushed his dreams.
You've
right
ruined
here.
his life,
Yeah,
man.
It's
and
okay. The only reason I stopped is because I got asthma, which I discovered at the end when I was about to come second in a regional
Really?
cross country. Yeah, I was like literally 100 meters from winning, and I just collapsed.
Really?
Oh, Jesus.
Holy
Couldn't breathe.
shit, bro.
Then, really?
Yep.
That must have been scary.
It was pretty scary.
Fuck that.
So did you know what was happening, or did you just think, I'm dying?
I think I had an inhaler at that point, but I never had like an asthma attack or anything. I
Holy
never had to like use it.
Fuck,
So-
dude. That's terrifying. Holy shit, man. You'd fucking... Especially never had one
If
before.
I'd got second, I would have gone on to like a national
Really?
competition. Yeah.
That's always... You know what, man? There's a couple of those that... And I'm torn on this as well, because I've seen that happen. There was a marathon or something that happened where it was 2 brothers were competing, and one of the brothers was like ahead, but he started to like collapse near the end. He started to like get exhausted and things, and his brother came up and slowed down and was going to do quite well. And he ended up taking his brother and like helping him like hobble across the line and shit. But it was like bad. Like it wasn't like, oh, he's kind of just running with him. It was like he was literally like helping drag him across the line. And I was almost like, I was like, obviously this is like nice and cool and they're doing that. But I was also like,
health-wise.
I was like, health-wise this is bad. But also like for that guy, like he has to watch that back of him getting like hobbling across the line and shit. It's like, he almost, do you know what I mean? It's
it's also still like a decent story, brothers, he's doing the selfless thing.
Yeah.
You don't know, that may have been their dream their
That's
whole
true,
lives,
to
is to both finish in good placing, and one of them was about to do it and failed, so the other one took his place
I remember
to help him.
I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
no, I feel like a jackass.
I'm pretty sure Dad talks about. So I don't know if this is. I seem to remember him talking about him and Uncle Drew were doing a race, and they were giving it the whole let's finish together, and then right at the end, Drew went yo.
That is an absolute Uncle Drew thing
that's
to do.
so Uncle Drew.
Fuck you.
And Dad is the kind of guy who would be like, let's just do it together, and have no it wouldn't even go into his head to think to actually try and win.
That's such a hustle though, eh? That's like it's like, mate, it's fine, eh? Like we'll do like, I remember we talked about that. Remember when we did an amateur when we actually, so Joe and I are usually teammates. But we were in the same weight class. I don't think we would be now. I'm not sure, but we were in the same weight class at one of the competitions last year, and we ended up coming up against each other in the first round. And we were like, we're quite about preparing and stuff like that. And I remember you saying just like, no, right, agreed. There's going to be no mind games. It's just going to be like, we'll just wrestle and just whatever. And there was a small part of me that was like,
you thought I was gonna.
What if he hustles me? I was like, what if he hustles me and tries to do it? I was like, I'm gonna be prepared anyway, like just in case. And he ended up not doing it, and I was like, okay, that's fair.
And then your guilt for feeling bad, thinking I was
felt
gonna do that.
I was like, I was like, man, was I being a prick by thinking that? But I was like, I don't know, it's competition. I was like, it's too intense.
That'd be messed up. I think.
That would be too messed up. Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if I'd have gone, listen, no monkey business, none of that, none of that, and then just the second it was on, done all the BS?
I think I would have immediately jumped in as well and tried to kind of be like, I would have been taken aback
afterwards though.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that would have been.
That's a breach of trust right there.
I don't know.
I think.
I feel like you'd have a good way of being able to justify why, though. I don't know why.
So I'd have a good way of manipulating the people around me to think it was okay.
I don't know. I've played Monopoly with you. You don't know. You were doing pretty good there.
Listen. I am honest about my. I take the dead and brown approach. I am honest
that was the
about my
thing.
deception when it comes to Monopoly.
Yeah.
Not wrestling though. Wrestling's sacred. But Monopoly,
all rules are off.
Yeah.
Mate, Monopoly. Have you seen the Millennial Monopoly that's just got released a wee while back?
No.
There's literally one where it's like.
Because everyone earned the same.
It's
You
literally-
can't do anything bad.
It's literally like It's literally like you go on a trip to find yourself. You don't lose this or whatever.
Right.
You don't get paid in. You don't get paid in money as well. I think it's like you get paid in experiences. Yeah, you get paid in experiences. There's another one where it's like you go for a hike or like you go to. I can't remember some of the ones, but
Is it like an official Monopoly game?
yeah, it's an official. You've got like Edinburgh Monopoly, and you've got like.
Well, we should play one of them on stream.
100%.
Well, like we started it, and then we just never.
Do you know what? I still have the data for that game.
Really?
Damn right.
We're not continuing.
Right.
That.
I'll tell you what.
It's been too long.
But why?
I'll tell you
Why?
what.
I don't know. I had Mayfair and Park Lane.
Mate, you were getting. I was.
One of
we
you
just-
landed on that once, and it's.
Can we just
okay?
can we just admit that I brought it back from the brink?
You did.
I brought it back from.
It
You
was
brought it
looking
back from
real
the
bad.
brink. You really did. I have to be honest. I was surprised that I lasted to that point. I genuinely was like, because that's actually my first proper game of competitive Monopoly.
Really?
Whenever I've played Monopoly in the past, it's always been like bullshit rules or whatever. That's the
Yeah.
first time I've played competitive Monopoly properly. And I was like, right. I was fully expecting to. Your competitiveness took me off guard, and I was like, and that's when I started to be like, hold on. Like, you guys all saw this. And anyone that watched the stream saw where I was sitting there for like
basically, for those who don't know what we're talking about a year ago, we had a vicious game of Monopoly.
It was competitive.
And I'm not
Stream,
joking.
it was great.
The other guys had been round the board 3 times before I got round once. So I was screwed. But I did every trick in the book to try and bring it back. And towards the end, it got pretty.
I had Mayfair and Park Lane.
Yeah,
I was
but that's
convinced-
all you
Mayfair and
had,
Park
though.
Lane,
In
and I had
fairness,
houses on them.
You
I had
couldn't last
houses on
another
them.
round. You couldn't last another
But
round.
the thing is,
I was
got
convinced I
unlucky.
could win. I was
got
convinced I could
unlucky.
win.
Same.
I was like, I could win this if I play, because I had about 500 or 600 quid saved in there. And I was like,
And as your friend and brother, I'm glad that you guys felt that way and had the the confidence to feel that way.
Look, dude,
I don't
all
wanna
it
break
takes
you
is
guys.
one roll for you to
And
land on
and
it. But like three times,
No, I could
both of
remortgage my
you
properties. I could remortgage my
dodged over.
properties. I could
You can't remortgage your own properties. can
that's
you not?
like going, mate,
Like,
I've
you
got
can't
a
buy them back, or they go up for auction or something like that.
That's
you can
legit.
remortgage them.
Your logic there, though, Jake, is literally like, mate, I've got the best right hand in the world. I can't land it, but if I did,
You've got
threw
Jay
it-
Wilder
I threw
over
it up
here,
to
eh?
the dice roll, okay? I let the gods decide.
okay.
And God pissed on your
And the
face.
gods pissed on my face.
Yeah.
Speaking of like,
Speaking of God pissing on your face,
speaking of like games and racing and stuff like that, one of my favorite things to watch are videos of people that celebrate too early when they're about to win something.
Premature celebration.
And then they get pumped. There's one of like a cyclist where he's
I've
like,
not seen many of those.
he's
I'd
cycling
love
and he's
to
like,
see
there
he's
is
like,
a subreddit for it, and it
yeah,
is amazing.
he's like way on his bike. He's like way like as he's gonna win, and some guy just like literally comes from the outside. Just
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of running
pumps him.
ones as well, like
Oh,
for
God, yeah.
marathons and
Do you
stuff.
know what? That's actually a scene from Road Rash 2. Like,
Is it?
it's like post celebrating like that.
That's one of my favorite things to watch. Is just people being like, "Way," and then just get popped at the last second. It happens a lot in MMA fights as well, where guys start
Yeah,
getting cocky.
yeah.
Who was the guy? There was a guy who was
I'm just gonna
legit.
refill 2 seconds.
He was legit dancing and doing like pop and lock in the cage.
Yeah, no, I saw, and he goes like that, doesn't he?
And he
the
gets
guy just goes
packed with a head kick
and
right
he's
in the
down,
face,
yeah.
and he goes down. And I was like, "Holy
I've seen that
shit!"
one, now it's brutal.
Oh, dude, that was so funny. Like,
There's a lot of ones with sports as well, where it's like
Yeah.
even just like a Snapchat update that's like, oh
Or the
my
football
god,
ones.
easiest money I've ever made on this bet.
Yeah.
And then like 2 seconds later, it's like, I regret everything.
have you ever seen the football ones where like the goalkeeper like runs out the goal for some reason? Like, no idea why. Like the goalie's like, "Mate, it's my time to shine. I'm sick and tired of sitting here in this goal being a roast. I'm gonna score a goal." So the fucking goalie runs up, and I don't know. I can't remember if the guy went to score a goal or what happened. I think he took a shot at goal and missed. And then the other team got possession of the ball, so he shat it and is pure fucking legging it back to his goal. And they literally just send the ball, and he gets there just out of time. The ball just rolls over the line, and he was like,
Oh, yikes, man.
oh, dude, I was laughing so much. And you can see it coming. You can see it happening, and you're like, oh, this guy is absolutely going to get fucked. Like,
Yeah, that's
he's
the thing.
totally
Like
fucked.
anyone who just starts celebrating and acting as though it's over, it's like, come on, there's always time on the clock.
Always
There's
time
always
on the
something
clock.
that can go wrong.
Oh, aye.
Celebrate when it's confirmed.
Aye.
Don't go crazy. I tell this to people when I play games with them as well, like Counter-Strike. They'll start talking shit when we're like 10 rounds up and you need 16 to win.
Yeah.
So it's like the score's like 10-6 or something.
Yeah.
And they're chatting shit and
It's
like,
shanking
dude,
it, bro.
we can still lose.
It's
There's
shanking
4 rounds
it.
between us.
It happens. I've seen it in. I'm not a huge watcher of golf, but you see it happening in golf a lot, where people are like, "Mate, I'm doing amazing," and then they just start absolutely shanking it towards like the last couple of holes, and you're just like, "Well, you blew that lead." You see it all the time. Cunts blowing an unbelievable lead.
yeah.
But yeah,
But it's just so much more satisfying when they're being arseholes about it beforehand.
what are you gonna do, mate? What are you gonna do? Like, I'm winning, mate. I'm winning. Burp.
Yeah.
That's That's one of my favorite things. I can't remember. There was some other stuff that I really enjoyed. Like again, Reddit's one of those things where there's just so many things to go on Reddit and watch. And I was watching a few like I'm trying to remember. I'll see if I can bring up a couple. Like one of the things like I started subscribing to just all these random Reddits that were just so funny. Like there's one I like which is called.
It's off camera. We're fine.
Oh my god!
Some of the
Some of the
soundproofing just
some of the
fell off
soundproof just
the
fell
wall.
off. Holy shit!
But that's
we're,
fine.
We're possessed.
2 of them
guys.
fell.
Holy fuck!
One's also a bit okay.
Oh
We'll deal with that.
oh
after.
my God.
We'll deal with that after.
Um,
Joe needs to get some glue.
one of the ones I subscribed to was "Am I the asshole?"
Am
it's,
I the asshole?
It's basically people going on and like, mate, like I told my brother that running was boring, even though he really enjoyed it. Am I the asshole? And they've got like code words for like, you're the asshole, you're not the asshole, there's no assholes in this scenario and stuff like that. And it's just people like, I mean, we could even just pick one out, like just randomly now, like the first one that comes up. Am I the asshole for dumping my girlfriend after her unannounced backpacking trip? And then it's just literally, there's literally 1.9 thousand comments here. 1.9k comments. So it's just people going like, you're an asshole, and it's like explaining the situations. And again, I'll spend a good wee bit like just reading that shit.
That's good. I like that.
It's ridiculous.
One of my favorite subreddits is artisan videos.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's just people who are really good at something, and that's it.
I like
Whether
that one.
Be a chef,
Job's
someone
done
doing
quick or whatever.
woodworking.
Yeah.
Usually it's like high production valued videos. So have you ever seen Primitive Technology on YouTube?
No.
How have you not seen Primitive Technology?
I might have. I don't know. It's one of those things where I've maybe forgotten the name of it.
It's a guy who doesn't say anything, and he's just wearing shorts, and he goes out into a wood, and he just makes shit with his bare hands.
What?
He makes houses, fire pits. He's made like
He's just what
proper,
Minecraft
like-
is based off of, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you're
Chops
on a,
down trees with his hand.
if you're on a desert island, like you want this dude. He makes axes out of just stones and twigs, and then like makes a house, makes a furnace. He's made metal with his bare hands.
So how does he make metal? With his
I was about to say,
He
how the
collects clay and he
Yep.
builds it into a furnace over time, and then he finds like some sort of mud that has like iron within it.
This is
and
just
he chucks it
Minecraft.
in, and it burns up, and he makes iron.
Dude, this is just Minecraft.
Yeah.
He is Minecraft. He is
It's
Steve from
really
Minecraft.
good to watch. You guys are
What's
in
it
for
called?
a treat. Primitive Technology.
I will be
Primitive
watching
technology.
that.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
I will be watching
It's
that.
really cool, and he
I will
doesn't
be
say a
watching
word.
that.
But turn on the subtitles.
Oh,
So
yeah?
there's no speech, but the subtitles are basically his narration. And
So it explains
talks
it.
You, talks you through what he's doing.
But it doesn't say it. It just,
But it
it
doesn't
just
say
reads
it.
it.
Ah, that's
Dude,
cool.
I
So
like
it's up to
that.
you if you want
So
to
he
know a
had-
little bit more.
Oh,
So he types all that stuff afterwards.
mate.
Wow.
They're
Mate,
really well shot videos as well.
the fuck do you think you're talking to? Do I want to know more? Of course I do, mate. I want to know all of it, mate. I want to know every detail of it, mate. Are you kidding?
There's like a video where he makes a bow. It's super cool. It just makes a bow. And it's just like
Dude, that's
fire and arrows.
fucking mental.
He's made like slingshots that he throws like a spear in.
That's awesome.
He makes like just houses, huts, furnaces,
That's-
loads of stuff.
I'd love to go on like a kind of a retreat like that for just like a couple of
Yeah.
days. No more than a couple of days, but just a couple of days. I'd love to
Yeah.
do that stuff. I love going like I love experiencing nature and stuff like. I recently, I've been running with the dog. So and obviously there's the park right there, which by the way I found a route to get straight there
Really?
without having to go down all the main road and that. So basically in the morning, get me across the road and we just go for this run. And I've started leaving my phone in the house, so
Yeah.
no distractions, no music, no nothing, just me and the dog. And see the difference when you don't have like music playing and like messages and emails and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all. When you don't have all that BS, you're just looking at your surroundings and you're like, damn. Like there's
is a really
so
nice
much
park as
out
well,
there.
like-
There is so much out there.
Yeah.
You know?
I like it's funny, like again, I look at things like that and I look at things like hiking and stuff like that and I'm like, man, I would we did so when I was in first year of high school, we had this do you ever remember, I don't know if you got this, any of you guys got this, but at the end of the year, like towards the end of the year, you had the alternative timetable. Did you guys do this? No? So the alternative timetable was basically like a week of an activity.
Oh, I remember something like this. Yeah.
So you could like go to somewhere, you could go on like a camping retreat, you could do fucking...
Like a residential?
Aye, like residential, or you could do, like you'd obviously pay money for certain things or whatnot,
Yeah.
or you could do like activities like, go whitewater rafting or whatever, right? And one of the ones I did it was called Walks Around Edinburgh, where literally it was me, a buddy of mine, and a few other folk. We literally just went on what I realize now, or we just went on hikes just around Edinburgh. We went up like fucking up towards like Craigmillar Castle, Black what's it called? Black fucking I've totally forgot what it's called. Blackford Hill, that's it. Like go up Blackford Hill and stuff like that, and just like taking like hikes around Edinburgh, and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
But years later, it wasn't until a few years later that I was like, God, the walks around Edinburgh were fucking awesome. They were good fun and stuff like that. And I thought, and I'm like, that's just hiking though. And I was like, should I go hiking? I was like, would I be a hiker? Would I enjoy that?
I
And
really enjoy it.
that's
I've
never been on a hike.
but when I
See,
do, I really
Other
like
than
it.
that, I've never been on a hike.
See, now that you mentioned that, I had an idea for a video a long time ago to do this, which was basically a combination of two ideas, which was basically to explore Scotland as much as possible, but for a reason.
Yeah.
So almost like how, and my idea at the time was when Pokemon Go came out. It was when it first came out, and I was like, imagine if we got in the
Dude.
car and it was like, how many cities in Scotland can we catch a Pokemon in, or something like that.
Why
But at
didn't
the
you
same
say-
time, you could visit all these different places
Yeah.
and all that.
I'd have been well
So-
up for that. That's great fun.
It was a few years
You
ago,
could
and
still
it
do
was
it.
when I was working at
You
What
can
Culture.
transfer your Pokemon Go Pokemon to Pokemon Let's Go.
That's true. I do know that. Well, I've got a few ready. The only thing I got Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and they don't have Scyther in that, and Scyther's one of my favorites. Gonna need that.
You heard it here
Gonna
first,
need
guys.
that.
We're
Gonna need that.
We're gonna call it Pokemon Let's Go Scotland, and we're gonna go around and we're gonna look for Pokemon.
Let's
coming
go
to
get some Pokemon.
a town
So,
near you, possibly.
But it might not be Pokemon Go. There might be something else that we can do.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter Go. Because you're such a massive fan of Harry Potter.
Oh,
That
we know you
requires
love
to
it.
travel all over Scotland, but that was just like one idea that would be funny. Like, how many can you actually catch in
Yeah.
different cities in a day?
Do you know what I would love? I would love if it was like a video game where you had to go to a particular. I remember
That's
like
pretty cool.
that's what I was like.
There's
oh,
issues
You
with
want to
that,
get a
though. There's
Gyarados?
issues
You
with-
have to go to this place.
There's issues with that though, because it's like, creepy people.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that's the thing, and that's what fucked me off when it came to that stuff. Where I was like, people started. How long did it take? It didn't take very long for people to start fucking setting people up to get robbed and shit. And I was like, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Loads
Because if
of-
you fucking do, there's always going to be some prick that's going to be like, how can we take advantage of this? It's like, just fuck off, mate.
There's a
Get
lot
the
of
fuck off the
videos-
earth, you prick.
There's a lot of videos of like live streamers who are streaming Pokemon Go getting robbed.
Yeah.
Live on stream.
Fucking cunts.
Multiple.
So
It's
what
like,
happens?
people just want to do a
They
good
just get
thing.
robbed and they run away.
Someone comes up with a knife or something and go, right, give me
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
Jesus.
It fucking annoys me because it's like I actually remember the summer where Pokemon Go was massive, and I remember just how fun it was. Like I haven't played a Pokemon game in years, and I'm not what I would call a fan of Pokemon. I don't follow it. Like I enjoy the original ones and stuff like that.
Who would do that?
But I don't follow it now. But even I was playing Pokemon Go and enjoying it at the time, and I was like, God, this is actually quite fun. Like, and yeah,
To be fair, there was a lot of
People
people
ruining
who
it.
had never touched Pokemon in their lives
Yeah,
who were
who
playing
played it,
Pokemon
yeah.
Go.
yeah.
And to be honest, I was a bit of a hater on Pokemon Let's Go, but now that I have it, it is better than I thought it would be. It is better than I thought it would be.
Well, there you
it
go.
has its, but here's the thing: I went in with zero expectations. That's why I enjoy it. If I went in expecting it to be good, I'd be disappointed. The problem is, see, when the first hour is rough. The first hour, yes, it is, yeah. Because you're playing it and you're like, oh, this is a bit... Because you realise then how crappy the controls are. Like, you remember I showed you earlier, so it's like the best way to play it is on the Switch.
Yeah.
If you play it on your TV, you can only play it with one of the controllers.
Yeah.
That is so
Well, you
lame
only really
and
need
awful.
one, though.
No, I know, but it just feels crap. It
Well,
doesn't
think
even...
about the Game Boy games. How many buttons is there?
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I don't want to control that with one hand.
Yeah, it's like you know.
I'd rather play it with like the Pro Controller. You can't play with the Pro Controller.
It's
Really?
weird. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when, and we were talking about this earlier. I'm a huge Metroid Prime fan. I think
Yeah.
Metroid Prime's awesome, right? So I played Metroid Prime on the GameCube, right? And as everyone knows, Nintendo, and I'll say this now, Nintendo are the absolute best at making stupid, fucking idiotic looking things that are actually amazing, right? So for example, the Nintendo 64 controller is the dumbest looking thing ever, but it feels great. Right? The GameCube controller, again, it looks fucking weird and silly, but you use it and you're like, God, this is actually like amazing.
yeah.
But so Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Prime 2 came out on the GameCube, then Metroid Prime 3 came out on the Wii, and they were like, oh, well, we're going to use motion control. And what you do is you hold the Wiimote in one hand and point it at the screen to like navigate the gun and stuff, right? It's a first-person shooter if anyone doesn't know what it is, and you navigate the gun with that, and then you can use the you use like the nunchuck adjust. At first, I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I hate this. See, after I started using it, I was like, this is actually like, this is amazing. It felt so intuitive, and I was like, this is. And then you would do stuff like to pull like a door or whatever. You'd just be like this, and I felt
That's
like
pretty cool.
it was like it used motion control enough to where it was satisfying, and I was like,
Yeah.
huh. So yeah, and again, like I said to you, I was playing. I don't have a Switch, but one of my clients has a Switch. My personal training clients, and he was like, I was trying to. He was like, right,
Dave was trying to cheat by getting tips on Smash Bros. And Mario Kart.
That's not true. That is not true. He's a very smart guy.
Oh yeah, two of them fell off.
I'm gonna call him out actually.
But they're not
Tom,
in frame, so.
If Tom, you ever listen to this podcast, your tips were very brief, but hopefully will help me. We'll see
after the podcast.
But he was basically explaining everything, but he uses the GameCube Pro controller attachment for the Switch, and he was like, oh, you could just use the Joy-Cons, and I was using the Joy-Cons like in each hand, and I was like, this is so fucking weird, but like I started to kind of get used to it towards the end, but it just felt weird being able to like move my hands around like this, like it just didn't feel right.
Naturally, you feel like they have to be together.
I just like it that way. You know what I mean? That's how I like to play.
That's
games
fair enough.
personally.
Then that's why it comes with a little thing for it. You know?
I think
that's the thing about the Switch is there's so many options.
Yeah.
You want to play with GameCube controller? You can play with GameCube controller. You want to play with just one little stick? You can do that. You want to get like handles on that stick? You can buy a little thing.
And that's awesome. But I'm saying
You know?
I feel that Pokemon disrespect that because they're forcing you to do it with one side. Whereas why does it work perfectly when you put both controls on the side of it?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's true.
Throwing it is a lot more awkward and a lot more
you don't need
dangerous.
to throw it on the Switch. When you're holding it on the Switch, you don't need to throw it.
Yeah, I know. But if you're using like a controller,
Yeah.
you will still need to use.
Yeah,
motion
but why
controls.
can't they just? I'm saying, and a lot of people feel this way as well. Why can't you just have the controller version of it like you do on the Switch? It's better. I don't like the throw-in version.
Yeah,
It's
but
not,
I mean, I've not played it, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But I like the whole throwing the ball is the whole point of.
I love how Jake,
Like-
you feel so strongly on this. Like, you're correct, yet you've never played it. It's just funny that you're like, mate, I went to that fucking chippy and the stuff was shite. And you're like, well, this is why. I mean, I've no been there and had it or anything, but I could tell you now that it's actually because of this reason.
I love Pokemon, as you know, as we were talking about in the car. So
Really?
I know. I can see why
There's
they
put it
would
this
have
way.
the one-handed thing.
Yeah, because
the
it is
whole-
more like
the
throwing a
whole
Pokeball,
point
yeah.
Of the game is to integrate main series Pokemon with
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, and
is
so they need
with-
to use the throwing of the
Yeah.
ball in Pokemon Go.
Not for me personally. Don't
That's
like
the
it.
thing.
Let me know. You
Me
try
neither.
it. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
What I
gonna
will
buy
say
it,
though is
but-
after if you're listening to this podcast, the audio version, which is the main way we put this out, to be fair, this won't
Yep.
be relevant. But for the people who are watching live, we will probably be doing some Nintendo Switch immediately after this. Although if you are listening on the podcast, watch out for the Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Joe Hendry, where we'll be playing Mario Kart tournaments basically. We only have 2 controllers today. Bit
And
of a bummer.
maybe some Smash? I don't know.
And some Smash, yeah.
Some Smash.
Oh, Dave's got it. This is
Wait,
the
are we doing
problem.
that live?
Why not?
Oh, okay.
This is the problem.
Nah, we're just going to edit it out every time I
Capture
fall
card.
off the
Okay.
fucking stage.
Oh, damn.
So, but this is the thing with Dave. See, we need to get a new game every week because
Yeah.
this is how Dave works. You'll beat Dave the first time at any game, but then what you'll do is you'll go away and train and come back and kick your ass. The only time I've not seen that is your bold claims about Mario Kart.
Wait a minute.
Hang on,
Yeah.
let us set the scene.
Yeah, dude.
Let us set the
Don't
scene.
try and talk out of
Let
this.
us
Don't
set
try
the
and talk
scene.
your way out of this.
So
I'm going to defend myself.
No,
Christmas
you stay
Day.
quiet until Joe's finished.
You talk.
So
Go ahead.
So just before when was it? When was it? It was just before.
So it was
after-
before Christmas.
Yeah,
It was a week before Christmas.
So we decided to play it, and Dave is just telling.
So this
us,
is when
like,
Joe first got his Switch.
So Dave is just telling us, just laying it on, like, oh man, I'm gonna smash you.
Back in
guys.
Mario
Like,
Kart on the
yeah,
Wii U,
you
I
know,
was the best.
I was the champ. Yeah, I was Edinburgh champ.
Unreal.
It was
a
double
professional
dash, actually.
player.
I
It was
went-
double dash. I was actually pretty good.
I went to the Mario Kart Olympics. You know, ranked number 3 in the world, and me and Jacob just
Miyamoto crowned me himself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a playable character.
No, Dave, those are just the me's.
So this is all going on, and then basically we play against them, and it's like, oh shit, we're beating them. And Dave, you got whooped. To be fair,
I did get-
Explain yourself.
I will say first, Dave turned off the assist, the steering
right,
assist.
okay, fair enough.
Hold on.
Which
Okay.
is incredibly difficult to play.
So,
Yes.
in my defense, here's my defense. One, they have changed a lot of things for Mario Kart 8. No. They have changed a lot of things for Mario Kart 8. Second thing, we're taught. Yes, I turned off the driving assists because I've never used them before, and I don't know. I don't even think my actual car has traction control. So, like, it's like
there's the-
weirdly, it's like weird. You know what I mean? I don't even driving assists are weird. Like whenever I played Gran Turismo, like driving assists used to piss me off. You know that you get like
Yeah,
the
I
driving.
can get it. Like, it annoys me on Mario Kart, but
Yeah,
it's too hard
or
to play
what
with
was it they had? It was a.
Yeah, you just fall off the stage.
Yeah.
Traction control would it would annoy you with counter steering, so it would counter steer for you and stuff.
No,
and
I hear you. I hear you.
So with Mario Kart,
there
in
you
my
go.
defense,
Uh-huh.
the same way for Smash, whenever I lost Smash, it was because I fell off the stage being an arsehole.
I can accept, and that's the whole point of Smash.
am the worst
I
for
get it, I
falling
get it,
off.
I get it, I get it.
right?
I am
You
the
know what?
worst.
You
You're
know
not
what?
going to take that
This
credit.
court-
I am the worst
yeah,
for falling
yeah.
off the map myself.
This court
That's true, I think
this court reduces your sentence for the assisted steering control. We accept that, but the court does not accept the nonsense about falling off the stage, because that is the whole purpose of the game.
It's true, and it took me off guard. I have been practicing, and I will hopefully not.
We'll see.
Hold on.
We'll see.
I did a 200cc tournament against AI, and as we know, we're talking about AI people, but we know that anyone who's been in those places knows that AI at 200cc are fucking cunts.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, you know, when like Stone Cold and CM Punk did that
Yeah.
promo together, like, well, you know, and he's like, if I was back in Stone Cold's era, he's like, well, if I was in your era, then maybe I'd just come and take that belt, but hey, I'm
just a
just
game.
talking hypothetically.
It's just a game.
That's what it reminds me of.
We're just talking video games.
Well, we'll see. We'll see after this podcast.
But yeah, and I little things like, for example, I wasn't used to having to use the brakes in Mario Kart. I was never of the ilk that you had to use the brakes. Apparently, in Mario Kart 8, the brakes are a fundamental part of it.
Really?
Apparently.
I don't know that. Joe
I don't
doesn't
know that.
Well, you're also using steering assist, so you
that's
know.
that's not our problem.
That-
Do you know
That's your
what?
problem.
Do you know what I feel though? I feel the arrogance should be enough to outweigh
Yeah.
the steering assist.
You were talking so much.
You were talking so much
and
smack.
you came dead
Dude,
last. You just kept
I did get.
falling off the map.
I will say, in fairness to you guys, I did get absolutely whooped. I did get absolutely whooped. It wasn't great.
What was the worst position you came in?
Oh, probably dead last. Nah, I don't think I came dead last. But like, there's how many players are there in a
There's
match?
12. There's
12. Oh, it's probably up there in the double figures. Like
Yeah, so double figures.
At
and what
best,
speed?
probably
We were on
seventh.
150, weren't we? 150.
It was 200.
it was 200. At 150, I did a lot better.
Okay.
At 150,
Fair enough.
So, and again, other defense.
The court will take the CC.
Other defense. Hold on, other defense. 200cc, I haven't played a whole lot of. When I played Mario Kart Double
That was
Dash,
my first time as well.
they're fucking.
But
But yeah. So, yes.
So yeah, straws. Where are they? Let me grasp them.
But I am.
You were talking shit, Dave.
I was talking some
talking
shit.
You got smacked up by the AI.
I
Joe
did.
wasn't even a factor in that
I
game.
did
for
get.
you.
I did get smacked up by the AI. I will say that. Yeah, I made a few decisions there that I immediately regretted.
I have one criticism of this Mario Kart.
What?
In previous games, you're almost punished for being first because there's better items from mine, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
In this game, I feel like you are rewarded for being first, which goes against what Mario Kart is
how?
fundamentally. Well, let me finish. You're about to get offended by this.
Oh, God.
I can tell the hate is there, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're second, third, fourth, and fifth, you get hit with more stuff. I think you do.
But you do get better items.
You do,
And the lightning
but
is a
you keep
massive
getting
factor.
stopped. You keep getting stopped and stopped and stopped. Whereas when you're in first, you can just. I think it's personally.
The
I think
reason
it's
Joe's
easier
saying
to
this is
increase
because on Christmas when I was whooping him so hard.
you
I
want to
was-
go there?
I was
You want to
almost
go there? You want to go there?
On
You wanna-
200cc.
Oh, you want to go
almost
there?
laughing.
Where's my
If you wanna go
popcorn?
there,
Yeah.
I don't care. You
Oh, he
kicked
wants
my ass
to go
on
there.
Smash Bros.
He knows what's
You
coming.
kicked my ass
Big
on Smash
tea-
Bros.
big-
But
I'll let you
I
finish,
whooped
then I'm
you
gonna go.
so hard on Mario Kart,
Yeah.
it wasn't even funny.
And you-
Smash Bros, I admit, I got my ass kicked. I'm not very good at fighting games. I'll admit it. I'm not very good. You kicked my ass. Good job.
Here's the difference.
But you're getting mad at Mario Kart because I was kicking your ass so
Hold
hard.
on. I
Here's-
want to
can
hear
I-
this.
can I-
The
here's the
years
difference.
catch up.
Here's the difference. I enjoyed Mario Kart, right? Whereas TD McGee over here nearly had a Christmas breakdown over getting his ass whipped at Smash Bros. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Sorry, mister. I'm going to play Cloud and just go use the range.
Did you do
attack
that again?
non-stop, you know.
But
Mate, no, that is bullshit. That's, you made me swear. I'll never swear, right?
look what you made me do.
When I went.
Look what Miyamoto's made us do.
Did I, or did I not cycle the characters?
You did.
More than you.
And you did.
More
Yes.
than you. Thank you.
No, I will
Thank
admit-
you. Thank you. He said that.
You beat me
He
in
did say
Smash
that.
Bros.
He said that.
I think I only won like one game.
Dude, King Cruel King
No, he's
Cruel.
actually S tier.
Oh, is he?
Is he?
No, he is, yeah. King Cruel is like S tier.
Well,
So
that's
is
the thing.
Pichu.
You can
No,
literally...
remember, Pichu is like top tier. Like
Really?
legit. One of
Oh,
the
that's a
best.
troll for a
And
reason.
Pokemon Trainer. One of the best
Really?
Smash Bros. Melee players plays Pokemon Trainer.
Wow. How come?
Because he's really good.
So that's the
It's
thing.
the Ivysaur.
enough. There
It's
you go.
actually the Venusaur.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if that makes a huge difference. Does it make a massive difference? The tiers, because when I played against you the
Not at
first
this
time,
level. Not at this level.
no, because I played you and I Zero Suit Samus and S. Is she S tier or
I don't know.
Is she right below?
Zero Suit's pretty high up.
She's right below. I think she's like A. Is it A tier? It goes.
Yeah.
So it's A, then S is like the top one. I think she's like A tier. But then and I got beat. And then I played against you again. You still played as Cloud, S tier, and I picked regular Samus, who's a bit lower. I think she's like C tier, something like that. And I managed to win. And I was
The
like,
thing is,
You
for
must be
our
picking-
level, it's more what we're used to.
yeah,
You know, it's more what you're comfortable
Yeah.
playing and what you know the kit off.
yeah, it's
Because
true.
we're not good enough to actually abuse the tiers.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Like, dude, like if we
I'm not
start
doing that
playing-
again.
Like
I'm not
I
going to do it that way
play
again.
Fox because I like to play Fox.
Oh, Fox can kiss my
fast.
arse with a landmass,
I'm
that
not.
prick.
I'm not good at Fox, and I'm not like winning because I'm playing an S tier character. or
Yeah.
anything. You know, I just like playing Fox.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The Mario Kart, I got my ass whooped. I literally did. But you know what? I went away. I reviewed the film.
I
spoke with
knew.
coaches.
I knew you would do that. He's joking, folks, but I knew the entirety of Dave's free time would be dedicated to training at this to come back and whoop us all.
No, because I will not. I will say this now, and anyone that tunes into the stream afterwards will see. I don't think I'm gonna whoop yous. But I believe I'm going to do a lot better than I did last time.
Oh, you can't take the humble approach now.
I can take whatever approach I want.
Now he's on camera. He's got to be.
Mate, I'm literally. It's literally like anyone that's got their ass whipped. You know what I mean? They're gonna take that humble
Fair
approach.
enough, fair
They're gonna
enough.
take that humble approach. Like I'd like that humble approach, but I'm a bit against it sometimes. It makes me a bit
enough.
upset. You know, one of the guys that's doing it is right now is Cal Snyder, and I don't like it. He's he was not talking shit. He did a lot of press and a lot of media leading up to the World Championships, the Amateur
he get
Wrestling
beat?
Championships, and he got pinned in the finals by Sadulayev in like a minute and a half. Like he got caught. He didn't get destroyed. He got caught in a pin, and you know we've been there. You get caught in a pin and you get fucked, and that's what happened. And now he's almost just not doing any media, and I'm kind of like. And then Sadulaev's like, oh, you talked too much, man. You were talking and you weren't focused. And now I'm worried that because I quite like watching that content of him training and stuff and interviews. And now I'm worried that he's going to be like completely kind of shilling himself away and not putting out content. Kind of like what Connor did. Remember when he was out there, he got beat by. When he got beat by Diaz the first time, and then the second time he just kept himself away. He did no media, did no interviews, and I was like, I kind of, I want him to do media and interviews, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm doing no media, I'm doing no interviews. I'm hustling, I'm just training.
I think you might be overthinking a friendly game of Smash Bros.
I
Mario
think
Kart.
you're, and plus, in my defense, I'm training on the Wii U.
That's true.
It's the Wii U version, which is not the same. There is slight differences.
We're over here at the.
But in our defense, we're not practicing.
No. We're over here at the.
I practiced like
I've not
5
played
times.
my Switch since Christmas.
We're over here at the Nintendo Performance Institute, and Dave's like gritting it out Dorian Yates style.
Yeah, basically. I'm literally. I've practiced. I've played about
About 47 hours of
Nah, realistically, a couple of
8
hours.
hours a day.
A
8
couple of
hours a
hours, and then I played. I was like, you know what would be fun? I'm gonna play Mario Kart 64 again. And I played Mario Kart 64,
great,
and I was
isn't
like, oh, what a fucking game!
It's
What a
the
game!
mechanics. I thought you were going to tell me it wasn't as good, and I was like,
No, it's the fucking. It's the best Mario Kart, in my opinion.
Do you think it's better?
On a technical
very
level,
good.
no.
I think 7's pish. I think 7's very poor.
I've not
I
played
don't like
7
it
to
at
a
all.
great degree.
It's far too easy.
Is that
Everyone
that's where they
knows-
introduced the floating things, though? They like the parasols and shit, like the floating on the
Yes.
jumps and stuff.
Yes.
Which
But in 8, they've perfected it, I feel.
Yeah, I think 8 they've done really well with it. But
Yeah.
everyone knows the best Mario Kart game is Mario Kart DS.
is it? Isn't
The
that?
original Mario Kart DS.
Oh, I don't know. I've
Really?
never played it.
Banging.
Really, I like the Game Boy Advance one.
Mario Kart
Right,
Wii
so
was
Mario Kart
underrated, man.
DS.
I enjoyed
you
Mario
needed
Kart
one
Wii.
cartridge, and about like 8 people could play.
No, I know, but I just think the tracks, the mechanics, I love
Tracks were pretty bad.
honestly, I'm just saying, I like the Game Boy Advance one. A lot of my favorite games are on the Game Boy Advance. What a system that was, by the way.
Dude,
What a
the
system.
Game Boy Advance gave us.
Pokemon.
Yep, there was Pokemon.
Pokemon.
You know what? I've never played a Pokemon on the Game Boy Advance.
and you talk shit about it.
I
Did I miss
remember.
out? Did I miss out?
Yeah.
I remember
Dude,
I played
Gen 3.
Sonic Advance.
I sold my 3DS.
I know.
Oh.
But you know Ruby that you sold, that's a remake of Gen 3.
I really enjoyed that.
And the originals are actually better.
You're like, you know what? Joe's kind of reminding me right now of a buddy of mine. So I got a friend of mine. I'm going to call him out if he ever listens. He doesn't listen, but Chris, if you're listening, this is calling you out.
Yeah, fuck you,
fucker.
Chris.
Yeah, you fucker. He literally goes, he's like, I was playing. Have you ever? I messaged him. He messaged me. He goes, have you ever heard of a game called Doki Doki Literature Club? And I went, now in my head, I remember about a year ago, I told him about it.
Yeah.
But I went, you know what? Let's see how this turns out. I went, oh yeah, I've kind of heard of it. Yeah. And he goes, oh, it's like really interesting, really amazing, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you're enjoying that, yeah. And he's like talking me through like all these different ways you can get different things and all the hidden stuff. And I was like, oh, you just playing that on Steam, yeah? And he goes, yeah, just playing it on Steam and this for that. And I went. And he was like, I mean, it's just really interesting, really unique, all this like, hidden stuff, and it's like all really meta and weird. And I was like, cool, man, welcome to the world of indie gaming. And he goes, nah, man, it's not indie gaming. I was like, yeah, dude, it's an independent game. He goes, but I don't like indie games. And I was like, but yeah, do. He's just got this weird fucking thing, and you know you have it, you prick. Where he's like, for some reason, he's against indie gaming, but
Some of the best games ever are indie
dude,
games.
right? He played the Stanley Parable. He played Stanley Parable and enjoyed that as well.
One of the big Football Manager games.
And I'm like,
was
you like
technically one
indie
of the
games?
first big indie games.
Yeah.
You know that? Yep. It got eventually sold to
Dude,
a major studio,
Undertale.
but-
Yeah. Like, there's millions of them.
Actually, believe it or not, I did a series on one of my decent What Culture videos. Was the best games made entirely by one person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 10 best games made entirely by one person.
What were some of the
I
highlights?
think Stardew Valley was the highest.
Yeah, that
Dude,
dude is
that's
rich.
beast.
That guy is so fucking loaded.
Can you imagine just like, oh, what are you doing with your life? I'm making a farm game with Super Nintendo graphics. Yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yep. Billionaire.
Fucking
Really?
insane.
Billion.
What?
Pretty sure he's a billionaire.
He won't be.
Dude, it's literally one of the most popular games on
Really?
Steam.
It's
yeah.
massive, dude.
Yeah,
It's
and
huge.
it's on
the Switch now as
consoles,
well.
it's on
Dude,
Switch.
Yeah,
like,
do you know what? I have it on Steam.
That's
I've
the
not even
equivalent
played
of
it yet.
someone getting signed to the
I
WWE.
tried it and I refunded it because it's just not my game. I don't enjoy
You
playing
can
games
refund
solo.
games?
Yeah, of course you can refund games.
How do you do that?
You refund them.
How long do you need to
I think
do
it's like a couple hours of gameplay or like 2
Oh.
weeks.
it? Wow. There you go.
They
Well, there
pretty
you
much
go
do
then.
it with like no questions asked.
That's
as
cool. I
well.
didn't know you could do that either.
Yeah.
Huh.
What I would say is that I think we're probably at the point now where we should kind of round off the podcast. There is
Especially if
something.
you want to play some Smash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is something I do want to talk about though. I was thinking about how to do this, but I kind of want to involve the fans in the process and let them know what's going on. Basically, we are going to start a Patreon. We're going to start a Patreon. And the reason is because we really want to double down on the content that we're doing. We really enjoy it. We love doing the podcast. We want to up, as you can see, we've upped the production value significantly. If you
Yeah.
look at
Ignore stuff falling off the walls.
yeah,
please.
but
Oh.
even so, like, you know,
If you look back at the first podcasts, holy fuck the
Yeah.
difference. Like it's literally. You remember we were talking about like puberty and shit earlier. It's like the podcast has gone
Yeah.
through puberty.
Yeah.
so we want to continue to do this regularly. We want to do more content, and basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have a Patreon, and I think we're not going to set anything in stone because we want to involve you lot as much as we can and what you want and you know what you don't want. We want to really hear you out on this because we're really thankful for everyone that has subscribed to us on
Oh,
Twitch.
yeah.
You know, it's been a huge support, and we still will do that. But I think what we'll probably do is we'll prioritize Patreon subscribing, so we'll push that more, and we'll probably say, look, if you've got Amazon Prime, please do subscribe on Twitch as well,
Yeah.
because you know that doesn't cost you money or whatever. But if you're going to choose one, please go through Patreon because you'll get a little bit more X, Y, and Z. Now that is going to happen at the end of February. At the end of February, that's going to
Does that
happen.
mean me and Dave have to wait till after February to get new chairs?
Yes.
You know what? I'm not against this chair. I'm not against
the
this chair.
garden chair.
It's a
The
little
green
bit
garden
lower.
chair.
It's a little bit lower down than your chair, so I've got to like have good posture. Otherwise, I just look really small.
These chairs have been a part of the podcast since the
have.
beginning.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to B&Q.
Lenny and Carl. I've just decided to call them.
Yep, Lenny and Carl.
I've
fine
just
with
decided to call them that off the fly. But
Lenny,
yeah,
Carl,
like,
and Squeaky.
as Joe's saying, like, especially you guys are the lifeblood of this. You know, you guys are the ones that are tuning in and kind of watching this stuff, listening to the podcast, stuff like that, listening to, giving, you know, us, you know, for at least for me personally, a platform to just talk fucking nonsense and just share my thoughts and things like that. And I genuinely enjoy this. Like, I know you guys are genuinely enjoying this. And
No, I hate it.
fucking shit. But
It's all because of the chair.
You know what I love? I love when someone tweets us like a meme from the podcast.
yeah.
Like that.
I think it's really cool.
It happens quite a lot now. Like
I think it's just kind of weird still that people actually listen to us just talking.
I know.
Yeah.
But
And then it's even weirder that people actually enjoy it.
I quite like it that it's kind of like a hidden thing. Like, it's almost like, remember what we were saying about, like, the perception of me in pro wrestling is that I can't talk and don't really have any kind of personality. And yet, if you listen to this podcast, you're going to find, you know, you'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, he says things, a lot of things. So it's kind of almost like a hidden underlayer. Like, if you ever go through any, like, promos or stuff online and there's just one... if you ever go through anything online where there's comments of like, oh, Dave has no personality, there's always one where it's just like, oh, no, he does. I've had a couple of things where I've seen stuff like that.
I will.
So fuck
Time
you
to
guys for
change
saying
it.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, the people out there that are that no different. Yeah, but yeah, again, so for that, you guys are giving me a platform to talk pish and enjoy it. Like, so I'm really looking forward to being able to expand things and showcase a little bit more, because I know you've kind of obviously showed a lot of your creativity through things you've done. But this is the first time I've really gotten a chance to showcase creativity on my part and kind of almost share the creative side of my brain.
What I will say is, what I find interesting is if you listen to the early podcasts,
Yeah.
the difference in your outgoingness,
Yeah.
is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying you come out your shell, because I've always known that you've had this personality.
Yeah.
But now that the other people are seeing it on a platform,
Yeah.
But like, honestly, there are episodes where like my mum and my girlfriend listened to the podcast, and there was one where they were like, you know, Dave carried you through that bit, or what? There's a few episodes where you're like just on fire. You know what I mean? Like when you get going, when we go off on these mad tangents and we talk about like those like that crisp episode. If you haven't heard it, go listen to
that
Car
was
Crash.
so
But the great thing is, like, that is just Dave, because even on the car here, we were talking about like Smash Bros or something, and it ended up in this massive conversation about Metroid. Like,
Oh, do you know what it
that went
was?
on
Do you know what
for
it was?
so
We were talking about which
Dave,
Pokemon,
please.
which Pokemon was it that you could face your dad?
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
Generation
mate,
3.
mate, I'm gonna get my dad to battle your dad. It's like, mate, my dad's the fucking head coach at the Pokemon gym, mate. Like,
Yeah, well, me, I barred your
Mate,
dad, so I barred my dad too.
Well, my dad's got an electric type, so we'll see what you've got to say about that.
mate. So your dad comes in, it's just like, right, son, take the fucking Benzo. And he's like, no, Dad, I battered you today. You take the Benzo.
Tell that to my Blaziken, you know.
See what Blastoise thinks of that. But yes, we digress. But basically,
It happened again.
we're gonna start our Patreon, and again, I think, to be honest with you, I'm really looking at Cultaholic and Inside the Ropes as inspiration.
Yeah.
And I really like their communities and the way that they do things. I really like the way that Cultaholic don't hold back any content.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be about holding back loads of content and by being on the Patreon, because to be honest with you, there's fans who might not have the money to contribute, and I don't want to leave them out. You know, it's just there will be certain benefits for those who do, and we've got some really exciting benefits.
I think, from what we planned,
We do have some big things
there
coming.
is like, this is probably going to be this is one of the most valued Patreons.
Oh,
I've
fuck
seen.
yeah. It's a very
Like,
valuable Patreon.
The amount of plans we have in place, like, people shouldn't get like worried about this as well, because like, we're not expecting people to like all give money and stuff. It's only if you want to. If you want the benefits
that's
we're going
what
to
it's
offer,
about.
Yeah.
that's fine. But I'm just letting you know, it's actually going to be pretty goddamn.
So-
like, I even told Joe earlier today, I think he's going too far. Like, I think you're giving them too much.
You're going
It's
too
like
far.
we sound like people on QVC. Like, you can't give that away. Basically,
I'm gonna do it, man. It's the Joe Hendry special. We're doing it. We're doing it. I don't give a fuck what Amazon says. We're doing it.
Then it has to fall apart in his hands or something.
it breaks down into 5 components. Okay, so basically the main sort of component is this podcast. So it will be to support this podcast.
Yeah.
There's a second podcast series that I'm doing called How to Become a Professional Wrestler. It's in this feed as well. It's in the same feed. That's where it'll live, certainly for the time being. I've got no plans to move it, but those 2 podcasts will be looking to support that.
Yep.
Another way that you'll get some benefits is you may notice now that I'm doing a lot of custom entrances again. I'm getting right into them. I really want to push those, and so that will. What I'm going to offer people is certain Patreon tiers. So you'll notice the one I did at Defiant the other day. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It was so basically-
I did actually.
I did. I thought that was not bad.
That was
pretty
fun,
good. Yeah. So, but what I'll be doing is for Patreon subscribers, we're going to be letting you guys see the video before it even gets shown live. So literally before it gets shown at the event, our fans. I don't know how long before we can do it.
Yeah. I
But it
feel
might
like,
be a
I feel like we
few
should discuss this before you said it on
No,
podcast.
no, no.
But, yeah.
It might be, but it might be a
it's too
few
late now.
minutes
Because
Might
that
be-
might not be possible for certain
It-
promotions.
I can't think of one other than
Isn't the point of it to be the surprise on the day?
no, it is on the day. But what I'm talking about is so if this video is going to happen, right?
They'll get it
a
like
few
an hour-
minutes before it goes live in the venue. It'll go on the Patreon and they can see the video. Do you see what I'm saying?
right.
So basically, if you're
Okay.
a Patreon subscriber, you're going to get to experience it before the people who are there live. So
But you
you'll-
mean
you'll
like
get-
a week before?
No,
so just be like,
that
here's
would
the
ruin
video,
it.
guys. It's
No,
like,
no,
Joe,
no.
we wouldn't have made it by then.
I mean, literally. I mean, you know, literally, they're going to be able to see a few minutes.
Yeah,
before it
because
goes
I guess they do take a while to get on YouTube sometimes from other
Yeah.
promotions.
So we've got the 2 podcasts. We've got that. It'll also be to support, if depending on how well the Patreon goes, again, because really the main cost of the podcast at the moment, we've bought a lot of gear. We've got a lighting rig behind the camera. We've got a 4K camera. Right now it's in 1080 because we're streaming, so we don't want there to be any interruptions.
We've got microphones.
We've got the microphones.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got the soundproofing that likes to fall off the wall. You
Yep.
know the drill, guys. We've got a souped up PC.
We need to buy some glue for these.
I know we got a laptop that's powering the microphones. We've
Joe
got
went to get a belt just for the background.
exactly. I had to win a belt.
We've got glasses here now,
So,
you know.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, moved on from the Sprite cans.
I know there are a lot of costs, but the main cost on top of that is the travel, is the travel cost as well for the guys coming through here because I'm in Coatbridge, they're in Edinburgh, so it's just things like that as well to keep it going. But the stuff that we get, we're going to reinvest into other things. So basically, the 2 podcasts, it's going to be to support the entrance videos. Also, the more subscribers we get, the more we're going to do streams. We'll be able to do more streams if we get more content. So that's the 4th element, and there is a 5th mystery element that we are working on right now that we're very excited about, that we've already started work on, that I think you guys are going to absolutely love, but we're going to launch that with the Patreon. So
All I can say is I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
very
It's
excited.
gonna be
gonna be
good.
awesome,
I
yeah.
think that's going to be
Yeah,
unbelievable.
what we'll do as well, this is, you could call it a 6th element, but it's kind of inside the entrance videos one. We're going to be doing some music videos as well, just for the YouTube channel. There will be a few, it might be once a month, might be slightly more, might be slightly less. We'll figure out all the details, but basically that will be available first to our Patreon subscribers as well, and you guys will be supporting that, because the thing is, they do cost quite a bit, like just the props and travel and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it does add up. So it's just like Jake says, it's if you want to help out. We're just giving you a shout out now. We're going to be launching that at the end of February, so it's just to give you guys plenty notice. So we'll be doing that. Also, we want to get your thoughts. What do you guys want from this? Do you want certain tiers to have discounts for merch or for live events? Or do you want certain merch items to come with certain tiers? Do you want to get stuff early? Do you want to get exclusive stuff? Do you
get
want
stuff
Q&As?
late, you know,
yeah,
or
yeah.
small,
Do you
whatever
want,
you want.
Do you want do you want Q&As? What sort of content do you want? Let us know. But basically, what we want to do this year, folks, is we really believe in the content we're making. We want to double down on it and do more, and really do our best to entertain you guys. And this is going to be the platform to support us.
Absolutely.
To be clear, we will still have the Twitch there,
Yep.
and we're super grateful. We will open up some of the benefits that we will have still to our Twitch audience, like in the Discord and stuff like that.
Yep.
But Patreon will be our main sort of way to support us, along with the merch store from the end of February. We will publish a date very soon. But that's pretty much everything I have to say about it. Have you guys got anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I do have one thing to say about merch. I'm going to be launching some T-shirts soon. I've got a design in my head that I'm going to do. I just need to, and then I'm going to speak with someone, who may have already been mentioned, about possibly getting a really cool design done for another t-shirt as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up on I've got a Big Cartel page. I think it's daveconrad.bigcartel. And if you go on there, it'll come up soon. It'll be listed for pre-order. Because what I'm looking for is I had a few people last time I did t-shirts. I had a few people, especially when we were doing the Twitch streams, that reached out about getting different sizes.
Yep.
And sizes that may not have been stocked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down like a pre-order thing there for you guys to basically, if you
So you know what size.
exactly, if you have interest for like say a certain size, put that size down, and I'll make sure that you can get it. That way nobody gets left out. That's just one thing I'm saying there.
So when will that be? When will the t-shirt be available?
T-shirts won't take. Once I get the pre-order sorted out, t-shirts shouldn't take too long. We're looking the next kind of 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. There you have it. Jake, have you got anything to add?
Nah, not really.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
I'm pretty happy with everything that's been said.
Excellent.
I don't have any t-shirts.
Well,
coming out,
it was awesome to get going again. I missed doing the podcast. From
Yeah.
I missed it, and I'm excited to get back into it. And here's to a successful 2019.
Hopefully.
It's a tumultuous time in the wrestling industry. It's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan.
It's the road to gold for me.
Exactly.
Well,
and we
hopefully.
can talk more about that next time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys have been seeing it
That's true.
possibly.
What's that?
2 of you, all 2 of you.
Yes.
Yes.
So Jake, you know the drill.
No, do I have to do it every time?
You have to do it every time. Man.
Every time.
Every time. Every single time.
Make sure to like and subscribe and
No,
hit the bell
no,
icon.
don't come in
I'm
on that
too
bitch.
low energy for
Dude,
this.
you that. Oh, and that's another thing. Folks.
Harness the passion, bro.
We will be back in. What do you want to do? Do you want to do it on stream or would
Well,
you-
we've already said, so we
We've
may
already
as well.
said,
We're
yeah,
doing it
gonna
on
have to,
stream.
Yeah, we'll do it on stream.
Well, we've already
Okay.
discussed all of our Switch beef
We have
on the
we need to
podcast,
settle
so
it, don't
everyone
we? Yeah.
everyone has to see.
Okay, so if you wanna stick for the live people, we'll be here in probably about 5-10 minutes playing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So there you have. But anyway, Jake, you know the drill.
All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit
No, you
that
gotta do the voice.
favorite, the bell icon at the side, get your notifications popping for the next video. See you guys next time.
I'll accept that.
Yes, that's what I'm doing now.
That's acceptable.